What's happening, everyone? And welcome back to another episode of Death Battles. Now today we're taking a look at what would happen if one of DC Comics' most iconic heroes went toe-to-toe with one of the most popular Godzilla. With the recent release of Godzilla vs. Kong, I thought it would be fun to have these two titans go head-to-head in the ultimate test of strength. But that got me thinking, why wait until the sequel to pit them against each other when we can do it right now? That's right. Today, we're going to find out what would happen if Batman took on Godzilla. And with the power of Kryptonite, will he be able to take down this massive monster? Or will Godzilla destroy Gotham before the Dark Knight has time to say, "I'm Batman"? Let's get ready to rumble. To better understand how Batman might go about taking down Godzilla, we need to talk about how this behemoth was brought to life in the first place. Back in 1954, Japan released the film Godzilla, which introduced us to this atomic age monster who would go on to become a worldwide phenomenon. In the original film, Godzilla was an enormous radioactive lizard that emerged from the ocean near Tokyo. The film's director, Ishiro Honda, wanted to create a monster that would reflect the horrors of nuclear war, and Godzilla certainly fits the bill. The initial attack on Tokyo by Godzilla was so devastating that the military was left stunned and without any answers for how to stop this colossal creature. They tried conventional weapons, but nothing seemed to work. In fact, at one point, they even attempted to lure Godzilla away from the city using a decoy made of paper and bamboo. Yeah, really. This plan failed, and Godzilla continued to rampage through Tokyo, causing mass destruction and leaving the people of Japan fearful for their lives. However, it didn't take long for humanity to come up with a more effective plan. What they needed was something powerful enough to stop Godzilla in his tracks, and when they deployed the Oxygen Destroyer, a weapon designed to eliminate the oxygen supply necessary for Godzilla to survive. After a fierce battle between man and monster, the Oxygen Destroyer proved successful, killing Godzilla and bringing an end to his reign of terror. Now let's switch gears and talk about Batman, one of the most recognizable superheroes of all time. Created by Bob Kane and Bill Finger, Batman first appeared in Detective Comics issue 27 in May 1939. Unlike Superman, Batman isn't an alien with superpowers. He's just a highly trained human with a burning desire to fight injustice. Bruce Wayne witnessed the murder of his parents as a child and vowed revenge against criminals everywhere. He dedicated his life to training his body and mind to peak human perfection, becoming a master of martial arts, detective skills, and technology. With the help of his loyal butler, Alfred Pennyworth, Bruce created an alter ego, Batman, and began fighting crime in the streets of Gotham City. Now let's see how Batman fares against King Godzilla. Although Godzilla is known for being a formidable opponent, there are some interesting tactics and weapons that could potentially defeat him. Batman may not possess superpowers, but his strategic brilliance and technological prowess could prove to be a match for even the mightiest kaiju. One such weapon that Batman could use against Godzilla is the sonic cannon. Sound waves have been shown to have an impact on Godzilla, causing him to lose his balance and disorient himself. In the 2019 film Godzilla, King of the Monsters, the military uses a sonic weapon called the Kraken to control and eventually defeat Godzilla. This device emits a low-frequency sound wave that disorients and immobilizes Godzilla, allowing for easier capture, or in this case, it's used as a trigger to activate his self-destruct move, called the Atomic Breath. Now, while it may seem counterintuitive to help Godzilla kill himself, this is exactly what Batman needs if he plans to defeat Godzilla without getting flattened like a pancake in the process. So what if Batman were to employ a similar tactic by luring Godzilla into a trap using the sonic cannon? This could potentially allow Batman to escape the destructive power of the atomic breath, while causing enough disorientation to bring Godzilla down for good. Now, let's talk about Batman's utility belt. This iconic accessory is filled with an array of gadgets and tools that can prove useful in many situations. One item in particular that stands out is the electric gel. This non-lethal weapon can be used to disrupt electronic devices and even stun opponents. While it may not be enough to take down Godzilla directly, it could prove helpful in disabling some of the kaiju's more advanced abilities. For example, Godzilla has the ability to absorb and redirect energy attacks, but Batman's electric gel could potentially disrupt these energy channels, rendering the ability useless. Additionally, the electric gel could be used to overload Godzilla's nervous system, causing pain and disorientation. While this wouldn't be enough to defeat Godzilla on its own, it could certainly weaken him and make him more susceptible to other attacks. Now let's talk about Batman's Bat. This high-tech vehicle is equipped with a variety of features that make it perfect for traversing the streets of Gotham. But did you know that the Batmobile also has a jet mode? That's right. This sleek black car can transform into a flying machine, allowing Batman to soar through the skies and take the fight to Godzilla. In the comics, the Batmobile has been shown to be capable of withstanding explosions and other forms of heavy-duty weaponry. Its durability and speed make it the perfect vehicle for evading Godzilla's attacks and striking back with precision. In fact, the Batmobile's rocket boosters could deliver a powerful payload of explosives directly into Godzilla's mouth, causing massive damage to the Kaiju's internal structure. While it may be a risky move, Batman may not have a choice if he wants to stop Godzilla once and for all. But what if Batman had a secret weapon, something that could exploit Godzilla's one major weakness? We all know that Kryptonite is Superman's kryptonite, but did you know that it also weakens certain types of kaiju? In the Godzilla series, King Ghidorah, one of Godzilla's arch-rivals, has a weakness for kryptonite. This makes sense considering that King Ghidorah is an extraterrestrial creature. Like many aliens in fiction, kryptonite has a similar effect on King Ghidorah, causing him to weaken and eventually die. So if Batman were to somehow acquire some kryptonite and expose Godzilla to it, he could potentially take down the kaiju without risking his own life. Of course, this plan would require careful execution, as kryptonite can be dangerous to humans as well. But if Batman is able to handle the risks and expose Godzilla to the substance, he could potentially save the day. So what would happen if Batman managed to hit Godzilla with his kryptonite plan? Well, it depends on the type of kryptonite that he uses. There are several different forms of kryptonite in the DC universe, each with its own unique properties and effects. For example, green kryptonite is the most common and well-known form, and it weakens Superman and other Kryptonians, making them more susceptible to injury and death. Red kryptonite, on the other hand, has more unpredictable effects, often causing those who come into contact with it to develop strange powers or even become violent. If Batman were to use green kryptonite against Godzilla, it would likely weaken the kaiju, making him more vulnerable to physical attacks. Godzilla might become weaker and slower, giving Batman a chance to deal some serious damage. However, it's important to remember that Godzilla is still a massive, powerful creature, even if weakened by kryptonite. Batman would need to be cautious and strategic in his approach, avoiding direct confrontation and instead using his gadgets and fighting skills to chip away at Godzilla's health. Using red kryptonite, however, could be a riskier but potentially more effective strategy. If Batman could somehow trigger Godzilla's violent side, he might be able to turn the kaiju against itself, or at the very least, cause enough chaos to distract it long enough for Batman to activate his other plans. Of course, this is all hypothetical, and in reality, there is no guarantee that kryptonite would have any effect on Godzilla. After all, the two are from completely different fictional universes and have no established connection. However, it is always fun to speculate on what would happen if these two titans were to somehow cross paths. As much as I love the Dark Knight, I don't think there's any way he could possibly defeat Godzilla. Even if he uses kryptonite, which I don't think would affect Godzilla at all, he still wouldn't stand a chance. Godzilla's atomic breath alone would be enough to take him out in a single blow. Well, that's it for today's episode. Let me know what you think about Batman's chances against Godzilla in the comments below. Do you think he could pull off a victory, or would he be no match for the Kaiju King? If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like it for more fun matchups. Until next time, stay safe and keep fighting for what you believe in.